know.
How's Valdez, Magdaleno? How's Gilberto Ramirez? How are they all doing? They had that huge card.
Gilberto's back in with his trainer back in Mazatlan, of course, with Sapari and Hector and Jesus Sapari, good friends of mine. Gilberto's a great friend. And then everybody's on vacation right now. You know, Oscar's taking. I know in my guys. I know they're keeping themselves busy. I know they're going to the gym. I know they're running. Because normally when they do come back in a camp, they do come back in somewhat of a decent shape. So because they know what to expect. So I'm sure they're out there doing their thing.
Has there been any names that have been thrown out amongst you guys for Oscar Valdez, for just?
I have no idea. That I always leave that up to the management and the promoters. Who's next? That's up to them. My job is to get my fighter ready. That's it.
Now, Joseph Diaz, who's often compared to Oscar Valdez just because of them both being in the LA area, both being Olympians. Joseph Diaz fought last weekend as well.
Yeah,
and to me, it seemed, and to a lot of people, it seems that Oscar Valdez has really grown a lot as a fighter, while Joseph Diaz has really stagnated. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think Joseph Diaz looked great, man. That's just this. I think he's definitely has the potential to become a world champion, and definitely the #1 rated fighter in the world right now in the WBC, the WBO. So he definitely has everything to become. It's all based on styles and matchups. I think that definitely, if you were to face Joseph Diaz versus Ali Salvi, I think definitely Joseph Diaz will win that fight and become a world champion. Gary Russell, I think he definitely has a chance against Gary Russell if he ever fights, of course. I mean Gary, and because he doesn't fight. This guy fights once a year. When was the last time he fought? And then when he does fight, he doesn't even fight the #1 contender. I mean, they pick and choose whoever they want to fight, and I think it's unfair for somebody like Joseph to wait around because he's been #2 forever. You got #1 and #2, and they're sitting around waiting forever, and they don't get a shot at the title. And here they are, not fighting, but yet when they do fight, they pick and choose. They pick and choose opponents instead of going right into the top contenders.
Well, Gary Russell has been trying to get the Lomachenko rematch, even though Lomachenko has moved up in weight.
Why doesn't he?
Do you think that's kind of ridiculous that Gary Russell Jr. hasn't either A, moved up in weight, or B, fought his mandatories?
Correct. I mean, he should fight his mandatory. A true champion fights the best. I mean, if you got the #1 contender, then fight the #1 contender. We just did. When Oscar fought for the vacant WBO title, it was #1 versus #2. And then we had an optional fight, and then we went back to the #1 contender again. That's what you do. Gary Russell hasn't fought the #1 contender since he became a world champion. He's only fought twice, and he hasn't fought. He's only fought twice once a year in the last 2 years. 2 fights in the last 2 years. I mean, come on. And then when he does fight, he doesn't fight the top contender. So I think it's a little bit unfair for the rest of the fighters that are there waiting on their turn. That's the WBC for you, right?
Another fighter under your stable, Dominic Breazeale, had an amazing fight against Izunu Ogono. Good comeback victory within the fight too. Real fight of the night sort of fight. What's up with him? What's next for him?
He called out Joseph Parker, and Joseph Parker accepted the challenge. So let's do it. And again, Dominic, he wants to fight the best. Whoever's out there, he fought Anthony Joshua, went into his backyard and fought a decent fight. We lost to the best super heavyweight out there in my point of view, in my eyes. So we already fought the best. So let's get a chance against. If we get an opportunity to fight Joseph Parker, it'll be great. It'll be a great fight. And he's not scared to go to New Zealand, by the way, to his backyard. So that's what champions do, man. That's what real fighters do. They, go into other fighters' backyards if they have to. That's what we do.
There was a lot of rumors about him pursuing legal action against Deontay Wilder. Have you heard anything about that? Any sort of clarification?
Not much. I don't talk to him about that kind of stuff. He comes into the gym and work out, and I don't ask him.
It's all training.
All training.
Yeah, I got an interview.